In his quest to free those who attempted to help him steal the previous election, current President Donald Trump has announced that he is going to go to bat for the convicted Colorado clerk Tina Peters. Peters was found guilty of a scheme to undermine the results of the 2020 election. One of the few who actually ended up getting punished properly for their role in this scheme. Many people did not, including the current president. Now, Peters was convicted of 3 counts of attempting to influence a public servant, 1 count of conspiracy to commit criminal impersonation, first-degree official misconduct, violation of duty, and failing to comply with the Secretary of State, and was sentenced to 9 years in the big house. She was found guilty at 7 out of the 10 charges that were brought against her. Okay, the jury actually acquitted her on conspiracy to commit criminal impersonation, and identity theft. And that stems from basically using somebody else's security credentials to give a person that was affiliated with MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell, yes, the Pillow Man, to give that person access to the Mesa County election system, and then, of course, lying about that person's identity, saying that they're an important official. Yes, a very official person who should absolutely have access to this information. That was not true. Now, in a post to his to Donald Trump's platform,
truth essential.
Trump insisted that she was a political prisoner. Yes, a political prisoner. And even lashed out at the Democratic Colorado Attorney General, Phil Weiser, saying, quote, Tina is an innocent political prisoner being horribly and unjustly punished in the form of cruel and unusual punishment. Really? Cruel and unusual? You'd think that would not apply to Tina Peters, but would instead apply to the Maryland father who was unjustly sent to El Salvador, despite not being an actual criminal. And of course, Trump was lying about that, lying about him being, he's MS-13, he's a terrorist, he's a horrible person. None of that was true at all. You'd think that would be more horribly and unjustly, considered a horrible and unjust punishment, right? Cruel and unusual. But of course, Trump's the one who's doing the punishment, so yeah, I guess that's how that works. Now, Trump wrote this on Monday and added, this is a communist persecution by the radical left Democrats to cover up their election crimes and misdeeds in 2020. That's right. The things that I did during that election, during the 2020 election, I'm actually just going to project and blame the other side for, because it was Trump that attempted to steal an election. Okay. Yes, many misdeeds by Trump. All right. And he still ended up not winning that election, but not for lack of trying to steal it. Okay. Now, he continues saying, the same Democrat Party that flies to El Salvador to try to free an MS-13 terrorist, which he's not, he's neither of those things, is cruelly imprisoning, perhaps for life. I just said that she's 9 years, okay? That's how much she was sentenced to. A grandmother whose brave and heroic son gave his life for America. Again, all that was just not true. full of lies. Okay, stuffed. It's a ravioli of lies, okay? Just filled to the brim. But that is, of course, par for the course for Donald Trump. He added, Colorado must end this unjust incarceration of an innocent American, convicted of 7 counts. I am hereby directing the Department of Justice to take all necessary action to help secure the release of this hostage being held in a Colorado prison by the Democrats for political reasons. Free Tina Peters now. So, He calls this woman a hostage and a gold star grandma. Okay, you must free her. She literally did crime and would absolutely do it again. I mean, look, during his sentencing, Judge Matthew Barrett said that it was very evident that Peters had not shown any remorse for her actions. And why would she? He also described her as defiant as a defendant that the court has ever seen, adding that, of course, he believed that she would repeat her actions if given the chance, and absolutely she would. And that's the thing. This woman is so incredibly self-righteous about her cause, right? Oh, I gotta prove election fraud. I mean, she thinks she's like Nelson Mandela or something. I am fighting against the tyranny of election results that I don't agree with. Okay. Look, here's the thing, though, and this is what's funny about it. She already went looking for the fraud, right? And didn't find anything. Okay. She handed off this information to the pillow guy, and he found nothing. Nothing at all. That's really the biggest part about this whole thing, right? She broke the law in order to do her little witch hunt to try to find election fraud, proof of it, and found nothing. Nothing at all. That is what we call a fail.
Whoopsie.
Total fail. All right, but anyway, the judge went on to say that Peters had showed little regard for the justice system, law enforcement, government officials, or even her own colleagues, and that she had abused the authority of her office, did not take her duties as clerk particularly seriously, and was prone to having one scandal after another. So that definitely sounds like a Trump type of person. Okay. But now that Trump is involved with her case, well, does that mean that she will be pardoned? No, this is a state case. So he can't actually go and pardon her. Federal pardons do not apply. Okay. That said, she is trying to appeal. She is trying to get out. Is there any positive news for her on that count? No. And thankfully so. It is not going well. It's going poorly. A federal judge on Monday warned her that her request to be released while on appeal was brought improperly. Oops. And may be subject to dismissal. Peters filed a federal petition for habeas corpus, right? And has alleged that the state courts have improperly denied her motion for a bond, and is claiming that her First Amendment speech rights have been violated. Interesting. And that her right to due process. Oh, due process. Suddenly the right believes in due process now. Because they don't for anyone else, anyone who's been sent away to an El Salvadoran mega prison concentration camp. They don't believe in due process for those people. But for Tina Peters, oh, due process. She didn't have hers. Oh, she deserves her due process. But again, that just goes to the fact that they believe that due process is only for them and not for anyone else. Okay? So now, she also, by the way, is saying that she has immunity from carrying out the duties required by federal election law. Okay. Now, the judge wrote that the federal courts cannot grant her habeas petitions unless the petitioner has fairly presented her issues to the state courts, which the judge says that she failed to do. Oops. So now the DOJ, however, they have inserted themselves into this case because, of course, they did, right? Because it's run by a QAnon guy, election denier, Kash Patel. So, I'm sorry, that's the FBI, but still, the DOJ is still massively pro-Trump, and so, of course, they're going to get involved. They filed a statement of interest to claim that it was reviewing whether Peters' prosecution was, quote, oriented more towards inflicting political pain than toward pursuing actual justice or legitimate governmental objectives. Look, here's the thing. The DOJ getting involved in this case is really unprecedented, but so is everything else at this point. So, of course, I believe that this is going to happen, that they are getting involved. Whether or not it will actually lead to her being released, I don't know. Again, Trump cannot pardon her. Governor Jared Polis is not going to pardon her. And so I don't really think that leaves a whole lot of options, but they are going to try anyway. Because as we've seen in this last 100+ days, that Trump does not care about the law. He only cares about a couple of things. One, trying to reward the people who attempted to steal the 2020 election for him. That's why he pardoned the Capitol rioters. And why he's now doing this. And once he has freed all of his accomplices, if possible, then I'm worried about what the next phase will be, because that is going to be absolutely revenge. So, yay. Looks like we've got that to look forward to. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.